Hey people, what's up? This is Emmo from Fighter 5 and we are here on Talking About Rock.
Okay, today's guest, Fighter 5, burst onto the scene in 2019. From Hargiswil, Switzerland, the band draws deep inspiration from classic 80s hard rock and arena rock giants like Whitesnake, Journey, Survivor, and Bon Jovi. Their debut album, Fighter, in 2019 was recorded in Sweden with producer Jona Tee. It delivered 12 tracks of keyboard-driven riffs and old-school rock hooks, and quickly established the band as one of Europe's most promising new melodic rock acts. Then in 2021, due to ongoing voice problems, front singer Dave Nyberger announced his departure from the band. And in 2024, they returned with Heart of the Young, featuring a fresh lineup led by vocalist Emmo Acar. Joining us now, talking about the latest release, Déjà Vu, out on April 10th, let's welcome Emmo Acar. Emmo, how are you, man?
Hey Robert, thanks for having me. I'm fine.
Definitely. So let's talk a little about the latest release. So the new album is really a new chapter for this band, and it's the first album on Frontier Records also.
Yeah, that's right. Well, this has been a key moment in our musical career in this band, and we are very, very blessed and grateful stepping into this family, I would call it, with Frontiers, and with this album Déjà Vu, and we cannot wait for everything else to come.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us a little bit about the refreshed lineup you guys got here and putting this project together here.
Yeah, first of all, as you already told, due to vocal problems, the singer back then, Dave Niederberger, left, and then also there were some other difficulties also regarding health. So that in the end, it was really the question whether the guys actually want to continue or not. It was only Lucien Egloff, the drummer, and Felix Kommerel, the keyboarder. So that the most important thing was to first of all find a singer, and then I knew the guys over Facebook, and I applied for this job.
Right.
And I was lucky enough that they took me, and then it was about finding a guitar player and a bass player. And then the funny fact was that Roman, our bass player, actually applied for the guitarist job, and unfortunately it was since you need a very, very technically good guitarist in this genre, it was unfortunately not what we were looking for. But then he was still very interested in the band itself and applied for the bass job. And he was not just like this, what everybody says, a bad guitarist is a good bass player. He really,
Right.
Besides the fact that he is a good guitar player, indeed, he was crazy fast delivering this or getting to this bass player shape. And I was very, very, like I never met somebody developing so quickly into this bass role, and it was just very, very cool cooperating with him since now. And then it was about a guitar player, and then the problem was finding people in general is very hard, since music nowadays is not about big money or else how it used to be. It's about commitment, and you have to sacrifice a lot, like a lot of time and things you cannot do anymore. And it's a commitment that many people underestimate. And then we were cooperating with some guitarists, and finally we could find our guitar player Valentin Loeb from Bavaria, and with him we did this album Déjà Vu. And still we are in need of a keyboard player, unfortunately. So that's like the only case, but that's the lineup for Déjà Vu, and yes.
Yeah, well, I really like it. I really like the songs on here. I really like how it turned out. And let's go back a little bit though. When you first joined, I think it was in 2021, and in August of 21, you guys released an acoustic video for the song "Save Your Love for Me." What can you tell us about that, and what makes 80s style AOR so special to you?
Yeah, that was like the first like release of me being in the band. It was like as you said, "Save Your Love" was a song from the first album Fighter, and I was lucky enough that I could do an acoustic version of it. And so we did it. We recorded a one take for this video in this building where also the video for Fighter was done. And so yeah, that was like the publication of this whole thing. And yeah, till now I really love this song, and I used to play it as well on weddings and stuff. So that's no joke. And melodic rock is something very special to me since it contains a variety of different styles. It's, you know, you got more the pop genre inside it, more rock, more this yeah, kind of, I'll say like fusion like. So it's really a global, a big genre, and but something is going through all those subgenres is that it has a lot of passion, a lot of emotion, and drama. Just because you have electric guitars, and it has that nostalgia, of course. I mean, I love the '80s. It was for me like the most exciting decade since you had so many different genres. You know, being like the way opener for everything what came afterwards. So yeah, it's like for me the genre that has a lot of emotion and a lot of like for stage this arena rock what we call is just huge. It's just very yeah much of power, you know.
Yeah, I would definitely tend to agree with you. I grew up in that decade, and I saw many shows and many tours through that, and it was kind of like my golden age of radio of all the songs that were coming out back then. But let's talk a little bit about some of the headliner shows. So Fighter 5 played several headliner shows starting in October 2021. You guys are part of the UR Rock Music Festival together with Nazareth and Grish and the Chronicles. That had to be a great show.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, we had some. We were blessed to have some very cool headliner shows at that URock festival. It was a Swiss festival. We were not headlining, of course. I mean, with Nazareth, but I had like this. You always collect special moments, and for me, it was in that thing that I saw the guitar player come in, like from Nazareth, towards the stage, but still backstage, and I couldn't find the door to enter the stage. And he kind of seemed to be a little dizzy. And I'm not sure about why. But the funny fact was that everybody was on stage, and I was like, "Hey, dude, cool, can we maybe take a photo?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course, dude, no problem." We took a photo, and I just left to see the show, and I was standing there, and he was still not there. So and then like they really wanted to like it was the first hit, and he just ran out and hit the pedal on his board, and then he was there. So yeah, he
So it was
saved
kind
it.
of like a grand entrance, kind of almost by mistake, but it sounds like it worked out really well.
Yeah, yeah, he was way too comfortable. I would say it was very very funny.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So let's talk a little bit about the current single, "Foolish Heart," a very intimate, deep, and emotional song. Can you give us a little bit of background around that?
Yeah, yeah. That was a song I cooperated on with Roman, my bass player. He wrote this song first of all, and then I did some arrangements on it and wrote like the a part of the chorus and stuff. And yeah, it was a very interesting work on this song. It was like the I would say you always have like this one song. It turns out to be very very cool. It turns out to be better than what you would normally write, and you just sit there and think, oh, okay, that's, I don't know why, but this song turned out to be great. And that was like this one song. And it was so good that we even did a Japan edition of it. And since the keyboard player for this, who was Victor Olsson in Sweden for the band Gathering of Kings, he also was on the album before. And he played all the keyboards and stuff. He produced them. He did also some writing arrangement stuff. And I worked with him on that. And yeah, and he did like crazy good stuff on that song that I just heard like the isolated keyboards on it. And I was like, dude, that's so wonderful. We really need an acoustic version of this. And we did it. We wrote like a version for Japan. It was with some acoustic guitars and very like more cheesy than the actual song. And unfortunately, it's still like only for Japan by now. But who knows how it will turn out to in towards the end. I'm sure that it might be something that we can also bring it to Europe and stuff. And but yeah, that song was really like something that had so much feeling, so much emotions, and it was like, for me, it's like a mixture. If you would like to compare it, it's like Richard Marx, you got some stuff here, then you got some like many people obviously said White Snake.
Right,
And,
I'm definitely hearing the White Snake, in the tracks for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. That's and also Roman had like a song. It was, I don't know, it was something with heart, and that was like the inspiration for this song. But it was not a ripoff or so. But so we had some pieces coming together, and in the end, you don't know how the songwriter thinks, but then you have a certain feeling, and you do your stuff on it, and in the end, you have like this beautiful pieced puzzle, and yeah, it turned out to be like in that direction.
Yeah, I think that's always interesting when songwriters and musicians kind of look back on what they put together. At the time you're in the middle of doing it, and sometimes you're like, this just isn't gonna, we don't think this really gonna do anything, but we're moving forward with it. Some stuff you don't think is gonna be great sometimes turns out to be amazing, and people really dig it.
Yeah.
And sometimes the opposite, something you really worked hard on maybe doesn't hit that note with people. I know there's artists that had thought of, stuff that they'd worked on in the past that they weren't even going to include. It always comes to mind for me, Ronnie James Dio with his Rainbow in the Dark song. He didn't like it. He wasn't going to put it on Holy Diver. He didn't like the song at all, right? And he wanted to drop it, and they had to convince him to keep it. And lo and behold, that kind of really launches him in that album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just never know when it comes to the songwriting, right? What's really going to hit for you, but. Definitely a really cool track. I'm glad you did some other versions of it. It's super cool for sure. Let's talk a little bit about your dates. You've already got shows posted and coming up here. So I don't know if you have the list here, but I have the first one. May 1st to 3rd, you got the Frontiers Rock Festival going on.
Yeah, that's
so that
true.
Sounds great to start out with.
Definitely, definitely. I would have wished to have a festival not that's high and crazy, but yeah, I mean, it is like, yeah, you have some crazy bands playing there, some of our idols, and it's always unbelievable to be able to share this stage together with those. And I'm not sure about all the festivals you play on, but I guess I can call some of them. We will play as well on the Malmö Melodic Festival, which is in Sweden, and we will play in this Greece metal cruise, Mediterranean metal cruise in Greece.
Yeah,
and then
I
afterwards,
see that. Yeah, I got some of the dates here if you want to go through them with me. So we got got May 15th. You have to help me with pronunciation here. Buko, Sweden. You're playing Switzerland. I'm sorry, Buko, Switzerland is on the 15th.
The 15th, yeah, that might be in Switzerland.
Yeah.
What was it called again? Sorry.
Heimlich 2026.
Yeah, that's in Switzerland. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was in Germany, I guess. Oh, sorry.
No, that one says Switzerland. Then June 5th, you got the Rock House Open Air in
That was in
Germany.
Germany. Yeah,
Yep.
sorry. Harvest was in Switzerland. Rock House was in Germany, right?
Yeah. And then you're back in Switzerland on July 11th with Summer Sounds Lakeside. And
Yes,
that's
right.
going to be a free show for folks out there. So that's amazing. And then you got the cruise, I think, here,
Yeah.
the 24th to 26th, Malmo Melodic 2026 cruise. And then I'm sorry, no, that's the regular show. And then you're on the cruise, Mediterranean Metal Cruise from November 2nd to 6th in Athens, Greece. So
Yeah.
you guys got a really cool lineup coming up. Definitely.
Definitely. And also after, like, right after we are back in where we started off in Greece, we will also hit Spain. But I don't know if I'm allowed to talk already where, but it will be Spain. We have some fans in Spain, and I guess that would be something very, very special for us, especially because we never played in Spain. We never played in Greece, never played in Italy. So that's going to be very crazy. I don't know how people will react, but from what I've read, especially in Sweden, there are some people that really cannot wait to see us, but we cannot wait to see our Swedish fans again, of course. So yeah, I'm very looking forward to this.
Yeah, it definitely looks like some great shows you got coming up. Very, very cool. All right, so the new album from Fighter 5, Déjà Vu, is out on April 10th. You guys can stream Foolish Heart on all your favorite streaming services, and you can check out the video for Foolish Heart with the link in our Hall of Video at talkingaboutrock.com. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Emmo, for being with us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you, Robert. See you next time.
All right, so that wraps up this episode. Thanks to my guest, Emmo Acar from Fighter 5, and to our listeners. We hope you're doing your part by keeping the torch alive and supporting live music wherever you are. Emmo, again, thank you, man.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon again.